It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we got a can of Cloudwater Brewing Company's Double IPA version 12 in a can. It's a special edition. This is the first version of Double IPA to be put in a can. They've just installed their canning line at the brewery and they've just celebrated a birthday. So congratulations to Cloudwater. Really excited to get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. So as always, we'll just smash it open and see what we get, yeah? 9% ABV, nice bit of smoke on the can opening. Okay, so beer in the glass then. Oh, look at this. Wow. So, typical for Cloudwater, I suppose, really, being called Cloudwater. It's cloudy. Nice levels of carbonation rolling up the side of the glass, look at that. It's a 2 to 3 finger, slightly off-white, tight head. Cloudy, amber, orangey coloured beer. 9% ABV, as I mentioned. Blimey. And it's been brewed with the aroma hops are Mosaic, Nelson Sauvin, Chinook and Citra. The bittering hops are Pilgrim Alpha and CO2 extract, whatever that means. The malts are Golden Promise, oats, dextrose, monohydrate and caramel. There we go. And the yeast is WLP 095. There we go. We'll get to the rest of the description later on, but I just want to get into this beer. I just want to taste it. I want to smell it and taste it. Special anniversary, special edition beer then. Ooh, this has got berries. Believe it or not, yes, you get your grapefruit. Yes, you get your tropical notes and tones, but this beer is nice and tart at the same time. It's like a tart, dark, maybe raspberry jam or something like that. It smells fantastic. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh. Gotta put that down. As always, Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows, what an awesome beer then. Oh, do you know, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I was a little bit flat before coming into this review. I always feel like reviewing beer, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't as energetic as I usually am. I wasn't kind of, boom, we got some great beers tonight and whatever. I don't know. But now after opening this beer, it's put a smile all over my face, and I'm really pleased that I've reviewed this beer. It cheered me up no end. Pardon me. So, right at the back end as I'm talking, it's very carbonated. A little bit of a burp going on, but you get a slight touch of alcohol that's going down into the pit of the stomach, and it's giving you a little bit of a warming sensation down there. That's the feel. The drinkability is with the oats that they've added to the beer, as is with version 11 that I reviewed just the other week. It's just got a lovely kind of more of a dense, creamy mouthfeel to it. Carbonation's great, mouthfeel's great. There's a level of sweetness up front of this beer, which gives it balance, to be honest. A 9% ABV, double IPA, balanced beer. Who'd have thought that, yeah? So, there's a lot of sweetness up front. I think if you had this beer old, if you, I don't know, got hold of this in 6 months' time, I think it would be a little bit too sweet. As it's a brand new beer, I think it was only released just last week. We are at the 24th of February, so I think it was something like the 18th or 19th this beer was released. I started to see pictures on Instagram and I thought, right, let's get online and order some. Yeah, this is probably a little bit sweeter than some of the versions of Cloudwater Double IPA. Then it goes over into the lovely bitterness. I wanted to leave the bitterness till last because the hop flavour and the hop bitterness, because for me they're obvious flavours. I wanted to talk to you first about mouthfeel and maybe some of the malts and some of the sweetness, carbonation, a little bit of that alcohol warmth going down. But now we can move over to the hops. It's quite a bitter beer as well. I mean, it has to be. To balance off that sweetness to begin with, it has to be a bitter beer. But it's just so tropical. It's like, I've seen hop soups myself. I've seen brewers in Poland, certainly, when they're brewing a beer, they've got this kind of contraption on the side where they're adding hops into a liquid, and they're putting that much hops into it. It's literally a soup, and they're spinning this stuff around in it's probably a hop back or something like that, and then it kind of, once it becomes a liquid, then they're ready to infuse it into the beer. They just kind of like open a valve and it kind of sucks its way into the beer, or the hot liquor, or the liquor. It's not beer yet, is it? And yeah, so really, I've seen this with my own eyes, and I can imagine, maybe not Cloudwater doing something similar, because I imagine that their brewery is very high tech and everything's sealed, and you don't get to stare into a pot of swirling round hop juice. I imagine everything's sealed up and a little bit different, but something similar where they infuse all of these hops together and they kind of pump it into the liquor. It is an incredible beer, and the secret is with these beers is, for me, it's the only time where I've not noticed a difference between the bottle and, of course, the new canning line. This is I think it's a 440 can. I like the style. I like this new can. I think it's the first time Cloudwater have put, I think they did the birthday edition in a can, but okay, one of the first times that they put craft beer in a can. It's certainly a double IPA. And I'm just looking to see if it's a 440 can. I don't want to kind of bore you to tears. Do you know what? It doesn't say. And I'm sure that's a requirement. I don't know. Never mind. I think it looks like a 440, yeah. So yeah, craft beer in a can. It tastes the same as a bottle. Reason being, the double IPAs, they keep bringing them out every month. So if you buy version 11, it's probably no older than 3 weeks old. Even if you bought version 11 now, it wouldn't be any more than probably, it'd be just over a month old, and it would still be tasting fantastic. So not much of a difference then in terms of freshness from bottle to can, because that's what you probably tuned in for. Does it taste different from a can? For me, it's probably a slightly different recipe. Of course, they change the recipe each time, but in terms of freshness, no, it's exactly the same, because they just keep pumping these double IPAs out every month, and unless you buy version 3 or 4 that are a year old by now, and version 2 is about a year old by now, then you're getting a pretty fresh beer. Okay, nice lacing on the glass. I'm a massive fan of this. I think it's an incredible beer. I am a big fan of what Cloudwater do. I think they're pushing the boundaries. They won some they've won some awards recently, which I think is fantastic for the brewery. Let's rate it, shall we? Let's rate it. So my first experience of Cloudwater Brewing Company in a can. I understand everything going forward now will be canned. I don't think they'll be putting anything in the bottle anymore. That's fine. I mean, the fashion has been, I don't want to show too much of it because, you know, I don't want to introduce a new brewery to this beer review, but the fashion has been a 330 can for the last 3 years. Now we got a 440, which is just going to spice things up a little bit, and it's just, again, it's the evolvement of craft beer, which I think is great. Always changing, always moving, always evolving. That's why I'm in the industry. That's why I love craft beer. For this beer, do you know what? I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10 for me, little craft beer. It's a Stone the Crow's beer, don't get me wrong, but 9 out of 10. Rating, yeah, is a 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! And cheers.